All right, so we're going to start lying on our backs with our feet wide of the mat and our knees just kind of knocked together. So there's an inner spiral of the inner thighs. You're going to feel your low back kind of widening. I want you to take your hands beside you with your palms up as if we're at the end of the practice, but we're at the beginning. And I want you to notice where your body connects with the earth. So notice how your feet are grounded. You can even take your feet wider than your mat. The back of your pelvis, the back of your head, the back of your shoulders. And I want you to notice if you're toning or flexing or tensing your back, and see if you can just breathe that right into the earth and let that go. And then once you have all that together, I want you to start deepening your breath. Start deepening your breath. So find that big full inhale where the whole back of your ribs extend into the earth, and then that big full exhale. Everything slowed down. Nothing rushed. Find the rhythm of your breath. You feel a nice calmness in your whole body, your shoulders, your back. Open to what comes in. And this week we're choosing to be happy. Happy not only for ourselves, but we know that when we're happy for others, we increase our chances of happiness many times over. So now we're going to look at some stories in our head, some interpretation of experiences that we've had, and how are we interpreting them? Can we do it in a more positive way? Can we change our mind? That's what we have the power to do. So you inhale and exhale, really full. By now you should have a nice rhythm of your breath. And now you're going to lift your knees up and drop your knees to the right as you gaze to your left. Get a nice stretch in your low back and in your neck. Then inhale through center, keeping your feet, wide, and you're going to look to the right. Inhale to center, drop your knees to the right, look to the left. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. So that whole exhale. And then make your way that way just a little bit more. Find that edginess here. And as you look the opposite way of your knees, you're going to get a nice little connection in your low back and your spine. Take one more right and left. Inhale to center and exhale the other way forward. And make your way back to center. You're going to bend your knees, take your knees towards you, and then extend your legs nice and long. Oh, we're going to get some nice hammies here. And you're going to start by rolling your ankles toward each other so that your feet are rolling toward each other. You're making circles with your feet toward each other. Yeah. See how long you can keep your legs. And then you're going to roll your ankles the other way, but stay with the breath. See if you can take the top of the pelvis back and your legs slightly away from you so that they're perpendicular to the earth, so you're already getting into your core here. And you're going to start to bend your knees, just your knees. You're going to flex your knees, your ankles, and your knees. And then you're going to point your knees, all your feet, and extend your legs long. Point. Flex your ankles, bend your knees. Point your toes, extend your legs. And continue just like that. Inhale and exhale. And inhale Exhale, top of the pelvis back. Yep, belly engaged. Really flex and extend your ankles. And notice how you feel it already in your shins. We're starting to get into those hamstrings too. It's just a little weird. Just, I like to keep it that way. That's actually one of the mottos of Anusara Yoga, keeping it weird. So take a few more really edgy. Flex down, flex your ankles on the way down, and extend, pointing your toes the way up. Oh, one more. Good. Good. Now I want you to bend your knees towards your chest, and now you're going to circle your knees. Yeah. Now extend your legs back up toward the ceiling, and you're going to extend your right leg out to the right and come back to center. Exhale your left leg out to the left and back to center. Just a few more, just like that, starting to open up our hip and use our adductors to come up our inner thigh muscle, that thin muscle on the inside of our inner thigh. All the way out and back up and out and back up, out, up. Good. Now I want you to bend your knee, take your right knee out to the right and extend your right leg out to the right. Bend your right knee so that it feels like you're kicking your right bum. Take your knee up toward the ceiling and extend your right leg toward the ceiling. Bend your left knee out to the left. Extend your left leg out to the left. Bend your left knee like you're kicking your bum. Take your left knee up toward the ceiling and extend. And we're going to do that a few more times, right? Good. See how we're doing this kind of against gravity. One more time. Out to the right, center, up, and center. Good. And then draw your knees toward your chest. Now you can extend your left leg nice and long, keeping the right knee hugged in. Inhale to center, and then extend your right leg, keeping your left knee hugged in. Good. And then continue just like that. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. So you're just going to change sides. So it looks pretty easy on the outside, but it should be pretty edgy on the inside. So you should feel edgier than it might appear. It's safe. So let's just do a few more. Good. Reach it in and extend. Last one. Last one. Good. Draw your knees towards your chest. And you're going to start to roll back and forth on your spine until you come all the way up to seated. Take your fingertips to the floor and tip the top of your pelvis back. We're going to get right into our core. So option one is to lift one foot and then the other. These are toe taps right into the core. Or with your fingertips still on the earth, you lift your shins and you tap your toes down one at a time. Exhale. So there's a rounded back because the top of the pelvis is back and you should feel right into your core. We're going to come back to core work throughout this practice. So either you're lifting up 1 foot at a time or you're tapping 1 foot at a time. And 8, 7, 6, good, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And all the way up center. And then roll all the way onto hands and knees. table pose. Good. Now let's take some cats and cows here. Inhale and exhale. Oh yeah. Notice how released it might normally feel, more than normal. And just get a nice flexion and extension of your spine. Feeding all the movements with your breath. Take some hip circles. But again, stay with the breath. Inhale and exhale. I don't know why I keep hitting. Okay, other way. And then come back to table. Now I want you to come onto your forearms so that your elbows are beneath your armpits, your belly is back. Extend your right leg back behind you, coming onto the tiptoes of your right foot. And you're simply going to press your right heel back. You're going to rock your body back and forth. And rock it. Just get into that right shin. Good. Let's see if you can just get a nice stretch right up the right leg. Your belly engaged, like I said. And then take the right heel back, holding the right heel back, big stretch in the back of the right shin. Big full breath here, belly back. And then come onto your hands, and you're going to lift your right leg up and just reach your right leg over to the left, look to the left, and get a nice angry crescent shape in the right side of your body. So look to your left foot, over your left shoulder. Just get a big stretch there. Breathing into it, keeping the belly engaged. Oh, yeah. And back to center. Coming back onto your forearms. Extend your left leg back behind you, coming onto the tiptoes of your back left foot. And then you're going to rock it back and forth. And rock it. And rock it back and forth. Yeah. Gets into your core a bit here. Good. Let's take a few more really edgy ones right in there. And then hold on to your left heel back, shoulder blades hug together, belly back. Get a huge stretch in the left side of your leg. So it's the left leg all the way to the back, all the way up the hamstrings, the left shin. You get really tight there, and it's just ready, next waiting to happen. Then make your way back through table. So you're going to come back onto your hands, extend your left leg back, and you're going to reach your left leg over to the right and look over your right shoulder, getting a nice big stretch here. Good. Really reach the side bodies, the left side body long. Nice full breath here. Oh, yeah. And back to table. Now we're going to sit back on our heels. So you can, this is one of the places you might want to block. You might want to put a block under your hips. So you decide to do that or not. We're going to sit up tall, shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Now you're going to take your right hand to the earth and reach all the way over to the right. Inhale back to center and take your left hand to the earth and reach all the way over, keeping your hips nice and grounded. Use your core to come up and exhale all the way. Good. Back to center and all the way over. Use your core to come up and take one more right and left. Yeah. Now take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, find some back bend here. And then you're going to fold slightly forward, or even more if you like. And then come all the way up. Oh, yeah. Fold forward once again. Get a nice stretch here. Hold that for a breath or two. And all the way back to center. And back to table. You have your blocks nearby, if you weren't sitting on it. Soften your heart, shoulder blades back, belly back, and you're going to start to lift your knees. Just lift your knees a little bit, right into the core and lower. And lift your knees. Exhale. Exhale, just a little bit. Your gaze is forward. You're going to get right into the core. It's not bad for your shoulders either. Shoulder blades back. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And right into down dog. And walk your dog. Good. Find your breath here. Belly back. Now come towards plank, come into plank, and then back to dog. Now, if you like to use your knees in plank, lower your knees when you get there. And then come back up and right into dog. So you take your time to find your way. I'm only going to do a few of these because the next one you're going to do, you're going to come back to dog and you're going to take your right ankle across your left ankle. Keep the left hip back. Notice how the right hip's going to want to draw back, the left hip back. And you're going to come into plank from there. And back. And plank. And back. A few more just like that. Plank. Right into your core. Plank. Stay in dog as you lift your right leg all the way up and step your right foot forward in between your hands. This is where you might want your blocks again. So you're going to lower your hips and lift your hips just to start. Make sure your left inner thigh is nice and fired up. Now, the reason you're going to want your blocks is because you're going to walk your hands back. Stay on the tiptoes of your back left foot, but you're going to flex your right ankle and lift your hips, lift your belly, and then come into your lunge. So if you have blocks, you might want to be able to keep your hands flat. If you don't have blocks, come onto your fingertips. Or use your fingertips without your blocks. So come deep into your hips and inhale all the way up. And deep into it. And all the way up. Flexing your front right ankle, come onto the tiptoes of your left foot. And once again. Hold on to it this time. Hold on to the end of the exhale. And, oh, this is the last time. All the way up. Oh, yeah. Back into the lunge. And step back to down dog. Good. Walk your dog. And let's take one child pose here. Knees wide, big toes together. Let's get a nice little flexion of our hips here. And take a breath or two. Right. Good. All right, resting time's over. Back to table. And we're going to do that little almost dog. So you're going to lift your knees, that gets into the core, and lower. And lift your knees, belly back, and lower. And exhale back, and lower. Exhale back, and now make your way right into your dog. So the backs of your legs should feel nice and stretchy. Now you're going to take your left ankle across your right ankle. And then you're going to come forward and back. So you might want to readjust your hands more forward. You'll decide. Forward. You can always lower your knees. Take the right outer hip back. Inhale, right outer hip back, and exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale. Yummy. 2 more times. Lower your knees if you'd like to. We're getting on our shoulders and our core in a little bit deeper way. Good. Last plank. Last dog. And extend your left leg all the way up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. And lift and lower your hips. Keeping the left outer hip back. And this is where you might want some blocks on your, under your hands, right? Now, you're going to stay on the tiptoes of your back right foot. Maybe you'll take your blocks to keep your hands flat. And you're going to take your left hip back, flex your front right, left ankle, stay on the tiptoes of the back right foot, lift your hips, and then come deep in a lunge, reaching your heart forward. And then continue just like that. Oh yeah. So your right heel reaches towards the earth as you come forward. And as you come back, you come on the tiptoes of your right foot, release your head, and continue. Good. Do 2 more. Last one. Oh yeah. Now you're going to take your left foot, reach a step into your left foot, and you're going to step your right foot forward. And let's make our way into a little bit of a yoga squat here, whatever your yoga squat looks like. Let's see how your hips are doing, your hammies, everything should be kind of cooking up here. Good. Then keep your blocks around. Take your hands to the earth, lift your hips. Pivoting your feet parallel, even your feet a little closer together. You're going to walk your hands or your blocks slightly forward. And I want you to come onto your tiptoes. Come onto your tiptoes. Lift your hips, lift your belly. Release your head. Just soften your head. Good. Take a few breaths here. And release your heels. You can walk your feet forward or walk your hands back. And inhale, circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together to your heart center. And release. Oh yeah. You feeling the love in your hips, I hope? Yeah. All right. Now we're going to take your feet wide and we're going to just use all that stuff. But we're going to start working on our upper body. Yeah. So take your hands to your thigh bones, keep the thigh bones back. And this time you're going to reach your right shoulder towards your left knee as if you wanted to tap. And you're going to come back to center. And then the opposite, left shoulder to your right knee. And you come back up. And continue just like that. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Use your belly back to really twist. Good. Until you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, and last one. All the way back up. Take your feet hip width apart. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. So now we're just going to kind of clear it out in a vinyasa. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. So while this is not really our first plank, this is our first official one. So keep your belly back. Good. And maybe you'll lift and lower, and lift and lower. So this is another way of getting into the core. Little pulse up and down. If your knees are down, it works the same way. Knees down, lift and lower, and lift. And then lower your knees, lower your chest, lower your chin. Walk your shoulder blades down your back. I want you to take your hands behind you and wide. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. So you can take your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them down, lift your chest, lift your palms, press your pubic bone down. Lift, lift, lift. Good. Now take your hands beside your upper ribs and open up your heart into a cobra or an up dog. And right into down dog. Good. Take a few breaths here, really getting it together here. Good. And then I want you to heel toe your feet to your hands. I don't know if I want you. Heel toe your feet to your hands. So heel toe, heel toe. And this is another good place for blocks under your hands. And you come back to a deeper forward fold than you did before. Belly back. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together to your heart center. And release. Notice if you're standing up nice and tall. I'm hoping that's the case. All right. Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Shins forward, bum back. Inhale, circle your arms up. And let's get into an official twist here, however it is, however it looks like. Opening it up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to your left. Keep your right hip back, opening it up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Once again, all the way to plank. Now, I want to get into our core. So I'm going to have you lower your knees. Walk your left hand to the center of your mat. Now, we're going to come onto our left hand, opening up our whole body. But you can step your right foot forward in front of you. I like that. And you're going to lift the left waist up. This is very therapeutic for your abdominals. Now, you can stay right here. Or you can extend your bottom left leg long and your right arm up if you like. And I'm even going to take my right hand under my left waist, lifting the waist and opening it up. And finding the way and opening it up. Shoulder blades are hugged together. You shouldn't feel any kind of torquing in your shoulder. If you have a problem in your shoulder, come onto your elbow. Right, okay. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Last one. All the way up. Now take your right hand back to the earth, make your way through it into a down dog. And lift your right leg all the way up. Good. Exhale, step your right foot forward and prepare for warrior one. Press your feet down and circle your arms all the way up into a nice deep warrior one. Now you're going to take your hands behind your head, but you're not going to interlace your fingers. You're simply going to tap your fingertips together, maybe even taking your thumbs to your earlobes. Yeah, keep the right outer hip back, and you're going to just kind of dip forward and back. Now, if you want, you can take your elbows toward each other, but open your elbows wide as you come up. You feel a little back bend. Staying in your warrior one feet, the right hip back. There's a little bit of a, what do you call it? Balance here. My computer is doing something. Take one more just like that. All the way up and right into warrior two. Right into warrior two. Good. Take your hands behind your back in warrior two, right foot forward. Take your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale and dip forward. Keep your hips back, your heart forward, so you can feel a nice stretch here in your hips. Good. Inhale, back to center.
Bend both your knees, take your bum back, and dip all the way over to the right. Oh yeah. And find a nice triangle pose. Oh yeah. Nice long legs. Mhm. Take your left hand to the earth and make your way all the way back to down dog. Good. Now you're going to take your right hand to the center of your mat. Come onto your right knee and step your left foot in front of you. Or you can extend your bottom right leg straight. Right? I'm going to extend my left arm up. And then as I exhale, I'm going to twist and look under, and then inhale, open it up. So it's a twist, but at the bottom, the right waist, the right outer body stays toned. Inhale and exhale. So with your left foot in front of you and grounded, what's happening is that you're giving yourself support. So it's not, you're not taking a lot of torque in your shoulders. You're still toning your shoulders. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And all the way up. Take your left hand to the earth. Make your way back to down dog and extend your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward, prepare for warrior one, and circle your arms all the way up into warrior one. Hands behind your head, thumbs to your earlobes, arm bones back. And then you're simply going to dip forward and come all the way up. So if you want to keep your arm bones back, you can do that too. That's going to get into the shoulders as long as you're hugging the shoulders back. Now, if you move your elbows toward each other, you're reminding your elbows to really draw back. Getting into your core, of course. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. All the way open and right into warrior 2. So you shouldn't have to do all that moving. Okay. Make sure your left thigh bone's out to the left. Exhale your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart, soft elbows, and then you're going to dip forward. Your heart reaches forward, your hips back. Find your breath. Good. And then take the back of your head back so your spine always stays long. Yeah? Bend both your knees, take your bum back, and dip all the way into a triangle pose. Oh yeah. Keeping your left waist lifted. And that should be no problem at all. There's no weight dumped into your left hand here, guys. Okay? Lean back, roll your left ribs forward, lift the left waist up. Take a nice full breath here. And release your right hand to the earth. And step your right foot forward beside your left, back into that forward fold. Now, widen your stance wide. Take your toes out and come back into your yoga squat. So it can look like this. You could be sitting on a chair. I don't know why this happens. Okay, or you can come into a lunge. Good. Now, you're going to take your right hand to your left shin, and you're going to coax your right ribs over to the left. You can take your left hand behind your base of your skull or on your neck, and really take the left elbow back. A nice stretch there. Upper body. Good. and come back to center, taking your left hand to your right shin. Take your right fingertips to the back of your neck or your shoulder or your chest, depending on your shoulder. And you're going to take the right elbow back and get a nice twist here. Oh, yeah. And release. Take your hands to the earth. Lift your hips up. And just come into a nice forward fold, releasing your head. And just notice, even sweeping your torso right and left. Shake out, shake it out. Good. Press your feet down and inhale, circle your arms all the way up. And bring your palms together to your heart center. And release. Oh yeah, okay. Come onto your tiptoes. And just kind of make some little circles here. This is going to get right into the core. Yeah. And then the other way. All right. And we're going to do one more vinyasa. Yay. Okay. Utkatasana, fierce warrior. That's what we are. Fierce. Find your twist. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left. Right to back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Oh, exhale, step back to plank. Find your belly back. Use all those muscles we've used all around our core. And then lower all the way onto the earth. Now you're going to come onto your forearms before we continue into that flow. Forearms under your armpits. Press the pubic bone to the earth. Now, with the fingerprints ground down, you're going to lift your chest. Now, the further back your hands exhale down, the deeper you're going to get into this back bend. So you'll decide, it's for your low back. Inhale up, exhale down, and you want to make sure you're looking forward. Inhale up, oh, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now, take your hands to the top of your ribs, shoulder blades down your back, into your cobra or your up dog, and right into down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step your right foot forward, preparing for warrior one. So we've been here, make sure you got your footing nice and deep, nice deep hips. Exhale, right into warrior two. We've done this before, right? Right to warrior two. Take your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold forward. We've done this. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, prepare for triangle and come right into that triangle pose. Then you have your blocks. So now you're going to take a block, taking your left hand to your left hip. You're going to take your block just forward of the right foot, and maybe you'll tap your left leg, maybe you'll lift it, maybe you'll find some balance here, but the more you lift your right ribs up, your belly back, there's a little softness in your right knee, maybe you'll get into that little balance. Exhale your left hand to the earth and make your way right into a down dog. Good. Last part of the flow, guys. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Press your feet down to circle your arms all the way up. Make sure your outer arm bones are back, you're deep in your hips. And then right into warrior two on the left. Good. Take your hands behind your back and release your fingers. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lift. Exhale. exhale, prepare for triangle pose, just like you did before, right? Good. And once you got it going, you're going to take a block, if you like, forward of your left foot and come all the way into a triangle, a half moon, whatever feels right for you, right? Whatever the balance feels right for you. Good. And release your right hand to the earth. I want you to step your right foot back and start to pivot your feet parallel. So now you're aiming to the front edge of your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Keep your pelvis folded at 90 degrees. So your spine is like a nice long table. There's a softness in your knees. The inner edges, as much as the outer edges of your feet, are grounded. And to come up, you're going to take your belly back and the back of your head leads the way, coming all the way up. Good. Arms to T. Exhale, you're going to come right back into it. Take your hands to the earth. Good. Or to your blocks. Take your right hand to your left shin. You're going to coax your shin in as you press your feet wide. Draw the belly back. Maybe even twisting, looking under your left armpit. Get a nice stretch in the outer hip. Right back in those hammies. Good. Come back through center. Take your left hand to your right shin. Coax it in as your feet widen. And open under your, look under your right armpit. Good. Oh yeah, take a few breaths here. Inhale back to center. Now, as you look forward, I want you to roll your inner thigh bones back. Soften your knees and imagine you're trying to make the mat smaller. So now you're stepping your feet toward each other, like your feet are stuck, but they're coming in. Knees soft, take your hands to your hips, feet in, and come all the way up. Yeah. And walk your feet together. Back into a little yoga squat. And back and forward. Arms are forward, hips sit back. Back. Now we don't really stop moving till the end. Good. Sit low. You might be surprised at how low you can go. 4, 3, 2. Last one. This one. Widen your stance. And through a squat. And all the way onto your bum. Yay. Okay. So now you're going to extend your legs nice and long in front of you. I think I'm going to do this sideways so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to sit up tall. Circle your arms all the way up. So make sure your kneecaps and your toes aim to the ceiling, your belly's back. And you're going to just kind of fold forward, see where you go. But then you're going to take your hands behind you, bend your knees, take your feet to the earth. You're going to lift your hips, and if you can release your head a little, that would be great. And if not, you can't, it's okay. And then you're going to slowly lower your hips, extend your legs, circle your arms up, and fold forward. Then you're going to come back to center, take your hands behind you, bend your knees, and lift your hips. And we're going to move just like that for a little bit. Make sure every movement has a breath. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. I'm just going to take a few more just like this. Kind of coming back where we came from. Last one.
And last, reverse table. So good. But we're going to go back to that core work. So you're going to take your fingertips to the floor, tip to top of your pelvis back, and either lift 1 foot at a time, both feet at a time, or you're going to lift your shins and tap 1 foot at a time. Exhale. Or 2 feet at a time. This is a little different than what we did before. Good. This is so good for your low back, core. And 8, slowly 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh yeah, last 1. And come all the way up. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Nice and safe and delicious. Round your back, give yourself a nice stretch here. And then come all the way to lying on your back. So I'm not done with our core yet. I want you just kind of roll your spine to the earth. So we're going to articulate the spine first before we go any deeper. So I want you to extend your legs long and with your arms up over your head. But if your shoulders don't allow, keep your arms toward the sky. That all works, whatever you like. You're going to take an inhale, big inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to slowly, again, articulate your spine 1 vertebra at a time, all the way up and into that forward fold, where we just were. But this time, we're doing it, we're going to tip the top of the pelvis back and articulate that beautiful spine all the way back. And wherever your arms go, we're going to be grateful and happy, right? And lift 1 vertebra at a time. And then inhale all the way back. Yeah. And up. And then we're going to get deeper into our core. 1 more thing. All the way back. Good. Nice. Draw your knees to your chest and just kind of roll your knees away from each other. Good. We're going to do 1 more thing for our belly. And this time we're going to take your shins parallel to the earth, top of the pelvis back. And if you find this hard enough, just stay right here. This is good. You can stay here and press your thigh bones away from you and press the thigh bones in as long as the top of the pelvis is engaged. And you'll know that it is because you'll feel a nice muscular energy across your belly. Now, if you want to go a little deeper here, you're going to extend your right arm up or over your head, your right leg long, and you're going to come back to center. And see if you can keep your knees in line. So I don't want your right knee to come any further than your left. Good. And exhale. And inhale. So by doing it mindfully, we don't lose the alignment of our spine or our shins. Now, if you want to take your toes to the floor because your belly might be cooked up, that's fine too. You know that. Good. 4, 3, 2. Keep the resistance in the left thigh. Last 1. And release. You can feel it more on one side than the other. I'm thinking, I'm hoping. Okay. Now we're gonna do the other side. So again, you can keep your feet on the floor, because you might be kind of burned out, but the top of the pelvis is back. And you're gonna press your thigh bones forward so you feel the resistance already in your core. Keep that resistance on the right and then extend the left. And come back to center. Inhale, and exhale. Let me hear you breathing. Good. And 6, 5, 4, yeah, 3, 2, last one. Oh, you did it. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug, even lifting your chest. Yeah. Oh. Take some hip circles here, circling your knees. Yeah. Good. You guys did it. Amazing ladies. All right. Good. Take your feet to the earth, and then you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, opening up the right hip. And then take your left knee towards you, maybe grabbing the left. You can grab the back of your left thigh bone first, or your left shin first, if you like. Just get a nice deep stretch in your hips. Or you can extend your left leg nice and long and get a nice stretch, not only in your hips, but in your left leg. Yeah, those hamstrings should feel a lot better now than they did when we started. And release. Good. Cross your left ankle over your right, opening it up. Take your right hand towards your chest. Again, you can grab the back of the thigh or grab the right shin and lift your chest. Just get a nice, as deep as you can get, whatever your deep is. Yeah, find your way. Oh yeah, and then extend your right leg long. Oh yeah. Maybe smile, it's an option. Great party trick, because most people our age can't do this. And then just come onto your forearms and make your way onto your right hip. You're going to lift your left knee and grab your left foot and just get a nice stretch in the left quad, those quads. Take your thigh bone back and then press your foot back, because this should be very accessible. But to get it edgier, you take the left thigh bone back and you press your foot into your hand. That's going to be a really nice thing to do. And release. And you're just going to roll over to your left hip. I'm going to roll around so you can see me. Knees are bent. I'm going to grab my right foot with my right hand and take the thigh bone back and press my foot back and take my right shoulder blade back. Get lots of stretch through the whole back side of my body. We want to find the balance between our front body and our back body. And that's how we stay up nice and tall. Good. Strengthening our bones, our muscles, our metabolism, all that stuff. Love it. And back onto your back. I'm just going to turn around because this is my healing here. Draw your knees back to your chest. Take your arms to T. I like to move my hips over. And I'm going to drop my knees to the right. And just get one last twist here. Reach your left hip away from you. You can even notice the difference because we twisted at the beginning with the windshield wipers. And I want you to notice the difference now, how flexy you are. Yeah. Inhale back to center. Take your hips to the right. Lift your knees. And drop everything to the left. Oh, yeah. Close your eyes. Take a few big breaths here. No more tightness. Or wherever you were tight should be less tight. Yeah. Take one more big full breath. Yeah. Now make your way to center. Take your arms, palms up beside you. I like to walk my shoulder blades together. I like to shake out my hips and reach my bum away from me, tipping the top of the pelvis back and rolling my spine right to the tips of the sit bones back to the earth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Extend your legs long and as wide as the mat. Once again, notice the points of contact between you and the earth. And where you feel the earth beneath you, see if you can just melt into it. And take a short little rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to your right side. And remember, life is this journey, not a rush. Be there for a moment. Set your intention. Tell yourself a better story. And then make your way to a seat on your mat. And bring your palms together to your heart center. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Let's take off the recording.